Dear friends, today's talk is about the karmic consequences of disrespecting food, wasting food, and this is coming because nowadays all kinds of food is available to us. We have cloud kitchens, we have Zomato, we have Swiggy, we have all kinds of delivery platforms in India, and you can get any kind of food all over India. Like you can get Spanish food, Italian food, Chinese food. And one of the things that I'm noticing is people show a lot of disrespect for food. Like I see many times they order some food, the food is lying down somewhere on the staircase. I've seen this many times. It's just lying somewhere in the plastic. It's just there and exposed to wind or just getting cold just like that. And food, many times in cafes also, the food is ordered, it's just lying on the table. And for me, always I would wonder that, why would someone just leave the food? They order food, obviously. Like I was once with a friend, and she was like, after ordering the food, like quite a good amount of food, she was like, I don't feel hungry. And I said, should we do a takeaway? Should we pack the food? And she, no, I'm not interested in this food, I'm no longer hungry. So that kind of thing, this very, and for me, I cannot imagine something like this, because I've always been raised and brought up in such a background where once food comes to a table, it is sacred. It is like a prasad, it is God's, nourishment for you. It is prana, which is in a edible form that has come to you. And then I decided, that many times I have arguments with friends about this. I have arguments with people about this. So I decided, let me check, let me do some research, let me take help of different tools, Google, ChatGPT, and find out what the ancient traditions or ancient wisdom has to say about this. And one of the things that I found is that food and sex, these are the most primary activities, base activities in the world. And how you relate to food and sex will tell a lot about your whole life, will shape your whole life in a certain way, how you relate to food and sex. Okay, so for example, very simple thing, if a person comes to you, your lover comes to you, and you ignore, you're just scrolling on your phone, then the lover is insulted. In the same way with food, when food comes into your life, you insult it in certain ways. And what the Taittiriya Upanishad says is annam na nindyat, annam na nindyat, which means do not insult the food, do not disrespect food in any way, treat it as sacred. It has come to you. Okay, it doesn't mean you just have to eat when you're not hungry. You can store it nicely. We're not just letting it lie somewhere, hang on the door or staircase, that kind of thing. Then also, food wasted today returns as hunger tomorrow, says the Bhagavad Gita. Food wasted today returns as hunger tomorrow, because you have insulted that aspect, that tattva, that annam, that blessing of Annapurna Devi. It is not a punishment, it is karmic symmetry. In karma, things can rebound in this manner. Then Zen Buddhism says that when you eat, you should have gratitude to the farmer, to the cook, to everyone who is involved in the process of bringing food to your table. How much do we respect the truck drivers? If a truck driver, slightly something happens while driving, we will slap the truck driver, right? But we don't respect the truck drivers, we don't respect the farmers, we think they are uneducated, but they are the ones putting food on the table. This is what the modern urban people have to understand, and they don't understand this. So that is one of the weird things we see. And thanking the farmer, the cook, the people in the grocery shops, everyone is toiling for a very low, meager salary. And they're struggling to get us food on the table while we sit in the city or in a good location and enjoy it. So that is called avidya when we don't understand this. That is food related avidya in Zen Buddhism, as per Zen Buddhism. Then Jain tradition says one who wastes food wastes life. Right? And Jain tradition is very particular about money, about food, about eating timings. And they say if you're wasting food, you're wasting life, because food is life. This body is called Annamaya Kosha in yoga. They call it Annamaya Kosha, which means made out of food. Anna is food. And these are all built by food, right? And when we enjoy the food, it's not just about what food we have. It doesn't matter whether we eat, olive oil or some kind of exotic Mediterranean food. It can be very simple food, but if you're enjoying it, if you're receiving it as a blessing, you are enjoying it, you will feel nourished and you will feel It brings a glow, it brings a spark to you, it brings creativity to you. Food is something very special. Bible says, gather the pieces that are left over, which means even leftover. Sometimes I see a little bit of food spills over the table and onto the table, and people will not eat that. The table is not so dirty. You're not going to die from some, virus or something if you just eat food that's fallen on the table. But they will not eat, right? And in Punjab and some places, I've seen the practice among farmers, among village people, that even if a biscuit falls, something falls on the ground, like dry food, they will just wash it and they will eat it, So that kind of humility, that kind of approach towards food, I really appreciate. I really like to see it, I like to see these kind of things. So my friends, one of the things which the message is, see how you relate with food, see how you relate with regular activities, food, bathing, very regular activities, even sex. All these things are such important things. See how you relate, see how you bathe, which part of the body do you start bathing from, where do you start your washing process in the body. All these kind of things, if we are mindful, if we are not in avidya, if we see the whole picture, the larger picture, if we are humble, if we respect farmers, if we respect cooks, if we respect people who are, who are not as privileged as us, but they are doing their best efforts to get food to us. And that is the blessing of Lord Shani. When we bless them, when we honor them, when we respect them, when we are grateful to them, that is the blessing of Lord Shani, the planet Saturn god in astrology. So friends, I hope I've given you some important and useful information about how we relate with food and how it helps us and how it has certain consequences. So I hope you'll mull over this, think over this. Let me know your comments, and please share with your friends if you enjoyed this. Cheers.